and welcome. My name's Jamie, and this is STEAM Preschool Activities for STEM Enrichment. Joining me, as always, is Amanda. And, and tonight we are going to be wrapping up our 6-week e-course as we've been taking you through different ideas and activities on how you can do your own STEAM activities with your preschooler. Just to introduce, I'll introduce myself and then I'll let Amanda introduce herself. But my name's Jamie. I blog at Handmade Kids Art. I'm also a certified art instructor, having taught grades from preschool all the way through high school. And I have 3 of my own. One is 5 years, 3 years, and my youngest just turned 7 months this week. So she's getting older and bigger. All right, Amanda, why don't you go ahead?
Well, I'm Amanda, and I blog at The Educator Spin on It, and my littlest one actually just had a birthday this week, so he's two now. I know, it goes super fast. So, and my 4-year-old turns 5 this week, so it's crazy. Like, when did they get so big? So anyways, I have a 2, a 5, and an 8-year-old, and I have experience in the classroom teaching kindergarten and 1st grade. And my specialty is reading from K to 12, but I also have my National Board Certification in early childhood. So helping parents and teachers make their children's lives more enriching is one of my #1 passions. So I'm excited that, you know, we finished our STEAM e-course, yay! And that the e-book, STEAM, Preschool Activities for STEM Enrichment, is actually #1 in preschool and kindergarten on Amazon, and it has 5-star ratings, and it has awesome reviews. I was just reading through them, and it was like, this book is great for my preschooler, and great hands-on activities. So I am just totally amazed at the support of our friends and family and all of our readers at our site, and how excited they are about making STEAM a priority with our children.
Well, and I think it's great that not only, you know, are parents at home doing these activities with their preschoolers, but I also had an art teacher contact me and emailed me a picture of her students doing one of the activities from our book. So it was super cool to see that. And, you know, it's great that, because our whole goal behind this is to enrich the lives of the young learners. And what was great is this art teacher, she actually was teaching older students. So a lot of the activities in the book you can extend to older ages as well. So if you do have a preschooler at home and maybe, you know, a school-age student as well, you can do the activities with both. It's very easy, and we give tips on how you can do that, and we even talked about that in our previous Hangouts. We've given tips on how to extend the activities. Okay, so to get started then, Amanda, why don't you just give us one reason why should parents be doing these type of activities with their children?
Notice you say one.
I did, because I know we could go on about this topic, but if you had to pick one big reason, like,
Okay,
give us the Cliff Notes version, because as parents we're busy, but what is one reason that
here's
parents need to do this?
the Cliff Note version. Every play date, every mom's night out, the thing that I hear most is that parents don't feel like they have time to do everything they want with their kids. Okay? So the #1 reason is, I really think if you do focus on STEAM, it kind of gives you the best, bang for your buck. Meaning, if you say, I am going to make STEAM a priority in my house, and I'm going to do 1 activity a week, when your kid goes to school on Monday, to preschool, they're able to say, this is what we did. Or when you're at the play date, instead of saying, oh, I never have time, you're like, oh, wait a sec. We just made a rock collection. Like, you make the time. It doesn't have to be, 8 hours a day, every day a week. But I think focusing on STEAM really gives an enriching activity that's both educational and fun and makes you, I mean, like we all want to be great parents. So it's really, when you do it, you're a great parent. Like, so I don't know. If that's your one tip, if you focus on STEAM and you try at least one activity with your preschooler every week, A for the A. A for the week for parents,
Yes.
What would be your tips, Jamie?
Well,
What
and
would be
I completely agree with you. And in fact, one of my tips for doing activities kind of goes along with what you were just saying, that we are busy. You have 3 kids, I have 3 kids. Life is crazy and it is hard. And I'm sure some parents were like, oh, yeah, I would love to do one activity each week, but, how do I fit that in their schedule? Well, I think if you take the activity and you break it up, you can even do, one section one day, the next step the next day. It doesn't have to be where you do the entire activity all at once. And that's where, in our book, we do break down the activities into individual steps, and it would be very easy to do one little part each day. And I'm going to give an example. The science one, our very first hangout, that pretty much we did that entire activity throughout the week. We took one day where we went and collected the rocks, and one day where we looked at them, one day where we then drew pictures about them, and then one day where we're displaying them. So that one activity kept us going, and we're encouraging, that thinking. And then this goes into my number one tip, or number one reason why, is developing a creative thinker. You want your child to be engaged in learning, and I think you want to develop that love to learn from a very young age. And I think that's where doing these exciting hands-on activities helps them develop that for subjects like science and math, where maybe as adults we're kind of like, I'm not a math person, which, I did say I'm not a math person, but it is fun ways to do those activities and get your kids excited to learn about them. Uh, did you have anything you wanted to add, or go into another tip on how parents can fit in activities at home?
Well, fit in for me. I've been sharing a lot of my 8-year-old is a list maker, and she makes the cutest lists. And so she's trying to get me to make more lists. And I guess when I do make lists or lesson plans, like I find that I use them. And so one of the tips of actually, as a busy parent who's trying to juggle lots of hats, is to actually make that plan. And on the Educator Spin on It, we have shared, and you'll have access to this too, right, Jamie?
Yeah, we can put up a link to it.
So we have a link to this planner, and really what it is, it's a super easy kind of modified lesson plan that any parent or teacher could use. And it's free to download, and it has the 5 activities that we've covered in this free STEAM preschool e-course. And so you can go on either Handmade Kid Art or the Educator Spin on It, and you can see how each of us have done our own spin on that activity. We'll give you the directions, and it's kind of nice that you can hop over from each of our blogs to see what the other preschooler did, because you'll realize very quickly that although they're around the same age, we all kind of take the activity in our own special way. So you can go on our blogs and find the directions for each of the activities. But what happens is when you print this out and you hang it up, if it's visible and it's accessible, you will do it. And if you add this little component where you have to do a little check when it's done, it holds you accountable. So if you put this on your fridge and you make a commitment that for the next, and I suggested either for the next 5 days and do one a day, if you have more time, or one a week for 5 weeks if you haven't already done it, then having this available will remind you to do it, and it also gives you like that visual clue or cue that, hey, I haven't done this yet. I'm going to make it a priority. So for me, making a list, if I do that, I'll do it.
No, and it's a great visual tool, too, that you could even sit down with your child and let them kind of pick and choose what they want to start with. This course, we started with science and then went through technology and then, down the STEAM acronym. But you can really go in any order with all the activities. You do not have to start with science. You can, start with art if your child really loves art, or math, and you can go from there. So I would see what your child's interested in. Maybe pick out an activity together, try it, and then they can, if you have the visual checklist hanging up, they can even, see it, get excited about it. And as you, purchase the materials or find them throughout your house, because we talk a lot about how you don't have to go get expensive materials for these activities as well. Okay, so I'm going to go into, this kind of goes into my next tip for parents on kind of why they should be doing these activities. And that is, well, one, quality time together. But you also get to understand your child and what kind of learner they are. And I know as a teacher, even though I saw, because I was the art teacher, I had many students coming in and out of my door, I still, every year at the beginning of the year, gave a little learning assessment so I could understand the child's learning style. It was that important to me to do that. And so for your own child, I don't think parents a lot of times kind of maybe stop and do that, but just trying to understand how your child learns best. Did you want to add anything about that, Amanda?
No, I think I'm still trying to figure out how my preschooler learns.
And that's the thing. That's a great question, though. At the preschool level, it looks a little different than, with a child that's older. But I think that's where if you're doing the activity with them, and you're observing, like, did they really like touching and squishing the Play-Doh? Did they really like, painting? Or did they really like getting out, moving, and collecting the rocks? So we kind of take you through a wide variety that you can take notice, oh, my child really got into that. And then you can go and find more activities that are similar to help them stretch that knowledge. Once again, creating that love to learn.
And creative thinker. Don't you remember my kids' engineering challenge in which they decided to build a shelter on top of each other's heads?
And I was thinking inside the box, but it worked. It created a solution.
Yes, they were thinking inside the box.
And that's, you can have those moments with your children. And I don't know, for me, it's interesting because my 5-year-old, and I've mentioned this throughout the e-course, I kind of know he really likes the engineering stuff. Like, he really likes the building. But it's interesting to watch my 3-year-old because she's still developing, still, experimenting. I think there might be a hint of the art that she likes, but that's where I'll just keep watching her as she does these, and it'll be interesting to see what happens, what kind of avenue she prefers to go to. Okay, so should we just kind of wrap up then? Amanda, do you want to add anything before we do?
I would say, the only thing I would say is that both Jamie and I on Handmade Kid Art and the Educator Spin on it, we're very passionate about having parents and teachers and caregivers really trying to make meaningful connections with the children they work with. And that, anyone listening can really come to either one of our sites for activities on ways to connect with the kids. And we try to do things and only share what really works for our kids and what we think will work for others. Because we want to be a resource. We want to save you time so that you can spend more with your own kids. And so Jamie has an amazing source of creative thinking, resources, and activity ideas. And so my suggestion would be, if you've already bought the book and you've already done all 30 of the activities and you want more, come visit us often because we're really a team together. And when you come visit the blogs, you're going to constantly be inspired. I know we have over 1,000 articles on our blog, and they are sometimes seasonal. We do all about education, and parenting. So we'll have a lot about books and ways to tie learning into crafts, which combines with your creative thinking and art very well. So I guess in order to wrap up, buy the book because, that's a great starting point. We're often asked, how do we start? You know what? Get the book, STEAM Preschool Activities for STEM Enrichment. It's easy to follow. The activities, most you can do with the materials in your house. If you have siblings, it's great because you can kind of make it a little bit lower, make it a little bit higher. They're engaging. Our kids love them. We hope yours do too. Teachers have commented how they're excited about them. And then come stop by ours, and we may possibly have another STEAM book for you. Possibly, right?
Possibly. Like maybe very soon. We have more coming.
So there may be some surprises coming within the next couple of weeks in the STEAM regard. So we'll try and keep our requests for more happy, and stay tuned and updated with them.
Yeah, and I think that just, shows our enthusiasm, and I think you brought up an excellent point. These are kid-tested activities. We have each done them with our kids that are different ages, so that, we've worked out all the kinks so that it's easy for you to do. So go ahead. Our book, ebook, is available on Amazon right now. STEAM, Preschool Activities Oh, I knew I couldn't get through the whole hangout without messing up the title of our own book. Yes. Okay, let's try that again. So the book is STEAM, Preschool Activities for STEM Enrichment. There we go.
It's a tongue tire. You know what I found? If you just type in STEAM activities into the Amazon, it'll come up first.
Okay, so do that. The titles, yeah, we're sorry it's long, okay? But STEAM activities, and you'll find our book right there on Amazon. And go back, check out the Google Hangouts, and you can follow up on all 5 previous weeks where we walk you through each one activity for science, one for technology, engineering, art, and math. And thank you for joining us. And if you have any questions, concerns, or suggestions for more, do feel free to reach out and email us. Check out our sites, Amanda at the Educator Spin on It, and Jamie at Handmade Kids Art. All right, thank you.
Bye.